I'm going to bring in now my guest for the hour from Los Angeles, California, Rachel Fiset. Rachel, I want to get your take on the opening statements, passion really brought by both sides, the prosecution and the defense. What were your key takeaways? And also, from our perspective as attorneys, who do you think now has the momentum moving forward in this case?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. I think that there is passion from each side, and each side has a very big case to make and very good arguments. There are very good arguments. This is a close call as we see it so far. The prosecution can show that the defendant, I think, could have been out of harm's way if he'd wanted to be, and instigating the violence this in the second round, we don't know what had happened prior, with that punch is a pretty big deal. So he is instigating a fight, he is instigating the bodily harm. Then the defense did a very good job of inciting passion as to racially charged words and what might make somebody angry. So I think they're going to veer away from what maybe the law might show as to when you're entitled really to self-defense, and kind of trying to inflame true reactions from the jury as to what those words might have done to the defendant and what ensued afterwards.
Exactly.
So I think this is thus far close.
Right, and that makes the testimony of the defendant so much more important here to really know how the language affected him, what he was seeing, what he was feeling. The defense also brought up the state of the victim at the time of this incident. Let's take a listen to that part.
You're going to learn in evidence that the Clearmans were out drinking heavily, as they often do. You're going to learn that Jason Clearman, at least, had a blood alcohol level of a 0.12, which is almost 1.5 times the legal limit. You're going to learn that he also had THC in his system. If you're not familiar with THC, oftentimes associated with marijuana, weed. You're also going to learn that the Clearmans get into a vehicle after drinking. They don't call an Uber. You're going to learn in the evidence they don't call a Lyft. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're going to learn they didn't even call a taxi, if you will. But they decided to get into a vehicle and operate that vehicle, and long and behold, they come into Mr. Edgecomb. Where was Mr. Edgecomb coming from that night? Well, the evidence is going to show that the last thing on Mr. Edgecomb's mind was first-degree intentional homicide.
So we also learned that there were open alcohol containers or containers of alcohol inside the Clearman's car. We also heard the defense, Rachel, talk about the wife who was driving that car, her demeanor after her husband was shot. What are some other key takeaways, and what role really does the state of the victim, and THC and alcohol in a system really have on the case of self-defense here?
Well, it might mean nothing, but this defense attorney is doing an amazing job of painting a picture that the Clearmans are generally kind of rabble-rousing, not law-abiding citizens. So that's where we're headed here. It may not matter at all. In fact, it may hurt the defense because he was so drunk or so high that he couldn't have hurt him if he wanted to. But the defense is setting a scene for us that they were just these bad people and they were out to make trouble. They didn't even call a taxi. They didn't call an Uber. They're drunk driving and they're screaming things, and who knows what else they could have done. Frankly, whether he was drunk or not really doesn't matter in a lot of ways, because what really matters here is whether Mr. Edgecomb thought he was going to be killed by the victim. And we're not hearing so much of that so far.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth, and you're right. It's all about telling a compelling story, opening to closing. Thank you, Rachel, for your insights. Up next, we're going to stay